Patriot Enclave, thank you for being along with us this morning. If you have any comments or questions, we're visiting with local author Bill Thomas. And if you've got any questions about writing a book, about his book, anything like that, if you'd like to join in on the discussion, you can call 636-239-6800. 636-239-6800. And, you know, it's not that often that we have an accomplished author in the studio with us, so you might want to take advantage of that, all you fledgling authors out there who have not yet been published. Now you can actually say that you are a published author.
Published author is a, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean,
You
whether
say
you
that
ever
with such
sell any.
dignity, I don't know that quite is accurate, but
Well, it is, yeah,
published
because
author.
you are published. I mean, you know, like whenever, from now on, whenever they, when you're going somewhere or when they're introducing you at a school function or whatever, you know, it'd only be proper that they say, Bill Thomas will be joining us this evening. Bill is a such and such teacher, and a published author.
That and a dollar would get me a soda
Yeah,
most
yeah.
places, yeah.
Now, do they know yet? Have they told you what the price point on the book will be?
I think that you can get it on Amazon for your Kindle edition. I think it's only $3.
Wow,
That's a
man.
good price for
That is
the
a good
consumer.
price.
And I don't know the list price. I think the list for the book itself is going to say on the back of the book $15, but I think that Amazon usually discounts it, so I'm going to guess around $12.
Yeah. Well, that's about normal, you
That's
know.
about what books are.
And will it come out immediately in paperback?
It will be released Thursday, be available on Amazon.com on Thursday in the Kindle and the print edition. And you can get that on Amazon.com or BillThomasWriting.com. I got a little website for writing stuff, so you can get it there. And or White Feather Press, you can get it from them too.
Fantastic. So,
You
tell
go
us.
to your bookstore and ask for it. They'll probably have to order it, but you can get it. You can ask for it.
Good. So then, all right. Well, then give us, the title is From the Ashes,
From
right?
the Ashes.
Okay. And give us just a little flavor of the
All
book.
right.
You know, if you were, pretend you're on a big national TV show and you're on David Letterman or whatever, and there's millions of people watching.
There are
and-
millions listening, aren't there?
There are, well, thousands,
Thousands.
or hundreds or tens,
Tens,
I don't
think
know,
I hear
something like
tens
that.
most
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
time, yeah.
But what would be, if you were going to give a bit of a flavor for the book, what would you tell the audience?
Well, I hope I don't have a Rick Perry moment, because I have 5 things that I think are
Oh,
the
no.
themes of the books, and I think I
Well,
got them.
you know what? Let me just give you a little tiny piece of advice from a guy that does a lot of public speaking, okay? And I wish I would have talked to Rick Perry before he had his thing. Is you never, unless you're looking at actual physical notes, is you never give the number of how many points you're going to make before you give the points. Because that way, if you forget one of them, if you get to number 4 and you can't remember number 5, you just stop.
I wish you had said that during the break, but I think I can do it. The book is, one of the themes of the book is that what you do with kids makes a difference. And that can be in a negative way, and we hear about that a lot in the news, but also in a positive way. And I think the story relates that as the story unfolds. What you do with kids matters. The second thing I think is important in my theology profession, I'm taking classes to get my doctorate in theology too.
Nice.
You could have
Nice.
been, yeah, but you'll be happy to hear the word theodicy. The idea of why does God allow suffering? Why does God allow bad things to happen? And that's in the story too. I think on the third thing is the idea of forgiveness and how important that is for us to be able to forgive. The fourth thing is what happens when Christians pray. I come from a Christian worldview, and my faith's very important. And we talk all the time as Christians about we need to pray about this, we need to pray about that. Well, what happens when we pray, and what would happen if it really was right in front of our eyes? The story kind of takes that up. And then the fifth thing, I'm going to get all 5 in, is in order to really live, you have to be willing to risk loving. Loving God, loving other people, and there's a risk involved in that, and a lot of people aren't willing to take that risk, and a lot of people just exist and don't live.
Nice. Well, I'm telling you, just from the little bit that I've had to kind of peruse the book, and I know as a proper radio host, you're supposed to read the entire book before you interview the author, but I wanted to get Bill Thomas in here sooner than later. I didn't want to wait until I had read the entire book, and really it's not an overly long book.
It's a novella.
A novella.
140 pages.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So probably probably a fairly quick read for
It's
people
an
that do a lot
easy
of reading.
read. It's pretty smooth. You could probably read it in 3-4 hours if you
Nice.
really were concentrated to read.
Fantastic. And it's just really nice. And this is one of the things that I want to say about White Feather Press. Okay, here we have an organization that really concentrates on books that have a pro-America, pro-God, traditional, family type. These are the kind of books that they exclusively, or at least from my understanding, exclusively deal in these kinds of books. They've even said during their sponsorship of the show that they don't that they don't publish any books that are I forget the exact word that they used, but basically what their message was is that if you're gonna have a book published by them, it needs to be a book that has some traditional God, family, country, type
Right.
values.
Skip Coryell, the president, who I have met and talked to and through emails, very committed to that. He's an author himself and a big Second Amendment guy, and they're very much conservative, Christian worldview. You said it very well. Pro family, pro God, pro country. That's what they're all about. And I was very happy to be part of the family.
Yeah, and I've looked at some of the other titles that they've published, like Raising Righteous and Rowdy Girls, and I like the flavor of what comes out
It's
of
kind of
White Feather
cutting edge.
Press. Yeah, yeah. So now give us you've talked about the 5 main tenets of the book, the 5 main points in the book, which I think are all absolutely fantastic. So